Hello Libra, thank you very much for tuning into your general read. For the main part of the read, I'm using Witch's Tarot by Ellen Dugan. And for the supportive oracle cards, Energy Oracle cards by Sandra Ann Taylor. We're good, we're good. Okay, so you got the sacral chakra here at the bottom. So Libra, going into this, make sure you feel comfortable with what you're gonna do. I feel like they're saying this will get you through this situation, and it'll give you the best outcome. Just keep coming back to your own center and make sure you're comfortable with what you're doing. Don't just go about this is what's right to do, like this will balance it out. Be careful of going too far into that. Stick with your inner feeling about, am I comfortable with what I'm doing? Does it feel right to me? Because they're saying something about the balance is going to seem it's going to be out of focus. Something that seems balanced is not. So if you just listen to your inner gut feeling, like, do I feel good about this? Do I feel like I'm doing what I should be doing? Am I happy about what I'm about to do or I'm doing? That will help give you like a sense of direction. Because something here is going to seem like it's going to be it's going to seem like it's the analytical. Like it's going to seem like this will balance it out, but there's something false about that. There's misinformation or something you don't know. So if you just go with your gut feeling, if you don't feel right about something, just trust that. Because you can always rebalance later. I've noticed that I have some Libra friends, and I feel like some people that I know, they say that. Like sometimes they'll do what they feel is the emotional right thing to do, and not what's like on paper the right thing to do, because they know that later on, if it really goes that far out of balance, they can still recorrect it. They can do other things to put things back in balance. So they go with their emotions, their heart center, before they just do something that looks like it might balance the situation out. Okay, I hope that I didn't talk that to death, but see, when you're coming into this situation, or I shouldn't say that. Something about there's a turning point. I should say a turning point in this situation. You got the Six of Swords, but you're covering it here. I'm noticing with the Empress. This is a situation where you're considering maybe you need to get out of it, but you're feeling like you make a very big effect. Like you do make a very big effect here, but I also feel you questioning, like, for every ounce of balance you try to create, it's almost like other people are purposely fighting you. They're fighting against it. They're causing you problems. For every effort you try to make things work out, somebody else is trying to sabotage that or work against you, undermine you, something like that. So I feel like you're kind of like, I don't even know if this is going to work for me anymore. It's just like there's so much adversity. Everything I try to do to make things better, somebody's always standing against me. Somebody's always trying to undermine me. I don't know if I want to keep doing this, but I don't feel like it's something I should walk away from. You're a little torn. You got this sense of responsibility and the sense of like, I don't want to just leave this, a loose end. I don't want to just leave this in the dirt. But honestly, you're kind of like, I'm getting fed up with the adversity here. Now, in the environment, I got these two cards crossed. The Nine of Cups with the Ten of Swords, which is very dramatic to me. But I feel like you got some people who very much appreciate you and feel like things work out better with you involved. But you have like a contrast of other people completely feeling like you're the problem. Like they're directing it as if you're the actual problem. Everything you try to make right, they feel like you're making things worse. There's a really weird feel here. Because you got like half the people stand behind you. I'm going to say, well, you have people that stand behind you. That could be more the majority in some cases, just to be fair. But you have other people who are just like, They stand completely against you. Like, no. It's very dramatic, in my opinion. And I feel these people, like, I don't feel like these people are getting along even. Like, it's almost like, the Hatfields and the McCoys, I don't know, it feels weird to me. Like, people who support you are not getting along with the people who don't. It feels that dramatic to me. And I feel like this is another reason, because you're kind of like, if I'm like, should I just get out of this? Because it's not even helping the people who are standing with me. It just seems to make life even more difficult for them. It's a pain in your butt. It's just like a thorn in your side. You're just like, really? Like, why can't we just get along? Why can't we just work something out? And you got this Ace of Pentacles right here in the center. The very ironic piece of this whole puzzle at this point. The adversity, if it's involved a little more, this can actually pull the situation ahead. This can actually evolve the situation into something better. It's working with the adversity and not just seeing it as a problem. That goes both ways, to be fair. That's not just on you. No way that's just on you. It's on the people who are saying, oh no, the Libra's the problem, blah, 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 blah. Because I feel people staunchly standing against you that way. But both sides have to look at each other and be like, you know what? Let's work this out. Let's see what's the problem, because you're looking to move things forward. And I feel like these other people would say they are too, who are standing completely against you. But the way you're both doing it, it's working against each other. And I feel like if both sides can come together, this could actually evolve a lot better. It would be a lot of stress on both sides, but it would be very beneficial to the situation as a whole. It could move forward exponentially. Like, this can make a very, very, very big advancement forward. It's not easy to do. It's a lot easier said than done. So Libra is one to try to be a peacemaker usually. And like, it's not about going towards somebody and trying to work out a truce. It's about being heard, and it's about the other side being willing to work with you. Now, what I'm seeing coming next here is you have the Hanged Man with the Nine of Pentacles, and right across it is the Ace of Swords. Like, it's almost like the Ace of Swords is kind of blocking this. There's only partial communication happening here. I feel like you're the one communicating out. I don't feel the communication coming back. And I feel like that's why the Ace of Swords is on its side. It's also what's causing the Hanged Man. You're putting communication out. I feel like you're trying. Libra, Air, it's not surprising to me that you're trying to put out the olive branch. You're trying to get things to actually heal or something better to happen here. I just feel like it's falling flat. That's why the Ace of Swords is on its side. The thing is, though, while it's falling flat, you're not getting as much adversity. People are kind of giving you a break, too. So the Nine of Pentacles is kind of like, things are a little bit better for you at this time. Noticeably better. Things are a lot calmer. There's not so much, adversity. Not as much. You're not a fool, though. You don't think this means everything's good and happy and joyful. But it's not as bad as it was for a while there. It's kind of like, well, this is a nice break. In the center, this is very interesting. The moon is crossing this other card. Now, I don't know if some of you can actually see the name of that card, but it's the Chariot, I want to say. Yep, the Chariot. The moon is hiding the Chariot. Something's about to happen. The other side, whoever you're dealing with, they got plans, and they're going to come forward with a very strong effort. The moon is saying it looks calm and tranquil, but it's hiding the Chariot. The Chariot is about to burst through, like warlike burst through. All right, so what are we getting into? Because I do see this other side planning to. And it is something is going to come forward, because it's the Chariot, Major Arcana. It is going to push through. It is going to happen. But I'm seeing here something is a little bit out of focus, because I feel like whatever these people, whoever is against you is trying to do, they get the Wheel, they get the Nine of Swords, which is not fun, and they get anxiety right on top of it. I feel like this does not go their way. They do charge forward, but it's kind of like the chariot charging forward into the arena, and there's a big pit that they charge right into, and the flunk, it's like it's a quick fail. Flunk doesn't work. The anxiety is telling me this is very stressful for people. They're very upset about it. The wheel turns against them. The wheel turns in your favor, but against them. And it might just turn in your favor by default, because I feel like it literally turns against these people. Whatever they're trying to do, it backfires. It may not go completely in your direction, but it doesn't work against you, that's for sure. And I feel like you have the angel of love on your side because you're protected. And because of this moment, the scales tip in your favor for a while. And you also get the environment, actually things start to change. You get to start to make changes. Your changes start to take effect. That's the door to value. Your changes, the things you want to happen, the balancing you want to happen, like Libra, let's be honorable to Libra. Balancing is definitely a thing here. The way you want things to balance out are starting to take effect. You're having the effect you want. And you're happy about that because you're protected. Whatever was going on against you, it backfired, and they're just out of the game for a moment. It's almost like a penalty. Having a hockey feel for some reason. You know, when people end up in the penalty box and they gotta just stay out, it's the penalty box. But as a fair warning, it's a penalty box moment. They will be back in the game at some point. Now, I see you very, 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 very well aware of, like, this is a temporary win. Temporary win, and I want to hold on to it. And I want to see if I can... This is your chance for the olive branch, and you're seeing it. You're like, all right, they're down and out. They're in the penalty box, whatever that is, whatever that means for you. So they're more likely to work with me now. They're more likely to hear me now. This is my chance to really negotiate because I'm in the power position. And they have to kind of work with me if they want anything out of this. They're in a spot where they're lacking, and I have more. So I can use this to my advantage. I can be more giving and hopefully get more out of this. This can really be a good time for me. So you got the Two of Pentacles here trying to sort it out, trying to balance it out, because you're like, we need to work out. We need this to work out. I can try to take advantage of my temporary win, but it's temporary, and I don't need this crashing back. So I'm going to try to see if I can get some more success in a long-term way by taking my moment here and trying to balance this out now where I have the advantage. This is not easy for you to do that, but you're willing to do it is what I'm getting. You got the Ten of Wands. Now, in this deck especially, you'll notice here, I'm assuming there's 10 there, I'm not going to count them all, but you'll notice this person is carrying all 10 on their shoulder, but I don't see any on the ground, which basically means it's success through stress. Successfully getting to your goal. Like this person is heading for that kingdom in the distance. They have all their sticks up on their shoulder. They're all contained, but it's a lot to bear. It's a lot to do, but they're making it. They're making it through with all 10. It's a lot of stress, but they're making it. And that's what I'm feeling for you. You are making it. You are getting through this. Takes a lot of effort, takes a lot of stress, but you are succeeding. 2 face-down cards. You got the Star card and the High Priestess. I do feel like they're right side up. Now, you're optimistic. You're doing this for a reason. You wouldn't be doing this if you didn't think it was going to work. But I'm also getting here, you need to plan ahead for what you're willing to sacrifice, because there's going to be definite things here you do not like. There's going to be things here the other side doesn't like as well. There's going to be a balance with that. I know Libra balance, I feel like I'm beating it to death, but you're well aware of what that means. I actually feel like a contract or some type of plan needs to be put in effect. Like something, almost like if it's possible to sign something or have something literally down on paper. And like a timeline attached to it. By this point, this is how this should be going. By this point, this should be going. Both sides should have it in writing what they're agreeing to. Be full aware you're going to be held to it as much as they are. And you might want to review it 3 or 4 times and keep it close to you and keep reminding yourself what you agreed to, because you're going to need to hold the other side to it as well. But I'm getting a contract. Sometimes things should be written down and agreed to. So it's like black and white. This is what they agreed to. This is what I agreed to, so that things can smoothly keep going forward. There will be some bucking of the system. There will be some pushing here and there. But when it comes right down to the brass tacks of it, this is what we agreed to. This is what we need to stick to. I feel like that's your best bet, and not only get this going in a better direction, but keeping it there. It also seems to thwart this negative energy that's going against you, that's always standing against you, that's trying to undermine you. Seems to thwart that, not completely, but it makes it a lot more bearable for you down the road. We good? I think we're good. All right. Those were face down, by the way, which to me says that's elective. You don't have to write things down like that. They're saying if you want this to go a lot easier for you, they're highly suggesting, highly pushing that. Like, really, you want to do that. Make your life easier. Of course, take it with a grain of salt in general read. All right, I'm going to wrap this up here. Thank you for watching. If you'd like a direct reading from me, shoot me an email, jamesforastral@gmail.com. That's James, the number 4, astral@gmail.com. Thank you.